excavator has arrived. I'm gonna get it unloaded, go to work. I gotta get that on YouTube.
Yeah, you get that.
If you had one piece of advice for my followers, what would it be?
Huh?
If you had one piece of advice to give my followers today, what would it be?
To cut the damn thing off and get inside.
Well, I got the machine warming up. Just greased the bucket and everything. Ready to go to work. So I'm gonna take the machine, take it over here to where I got to start on the fence line, and I'll show you what I got to do. So I'm going to get started on it. It's about a 30-acre farm. I've got to clear all these little trees out. This was an old tobacco field, and the farmer let it overgrow before the new owner here bought it. And the trees grew up higher than, a little bit bigger than he could bush hog. So as you can tell, the cows have been eating it out. But I'm going to clear all that out so they got a nice little pasture here. But what I'm going to do is start right here and go completely all the way around the farm so that they can put in a property line fence. We're staying off the line a little bit and kind of picking the path of least resistance through all the big trees, but still trying to keep the fence as straight as possible. So what I'm going to do is start in right here and start going through the woods and clearing a path wide enough for the machine, 20 feet wide or so, and then every so often just make piles throughout the woods on the inside of the line, just for all the brush, because it's literally almost a mile all the way around, and trying to drag brush out and burn it in the woods is just not going to be very practical, and it's too big to mulch. So that's the plan for today. So I made my way down into the woods, clearing this, and I think the first part was going to be the most aggravating part, because the field's right there and it's real tight. There's a lot of trees to start with. There's a lot in a back corner back here, but once again I've got room to work and pile stuff. Right here I'm trying to, I piled a lot of stuff in the field I'm going to have to bring down and tuck into the woods. But what I'm trying to do is clear the path, and then every 100 feet or 75 feet, whatever it works out, just make a pile of brush over here. Once I get down in here farther, I can kind of tuck it back in the woods a little better. As you can tell, there's not a lot of room to work, and the trees don't want to break up very good, so it's becoming a little bit of a pain. Plus I'm trying to leave it looking somewhat civilized. Between that next tree and that big one I'm trying to save, so I'm going to go knock that little one down so I can drag it out without knocking all the bark off the tree there beside it I'm trying to save. Well, that's too late, I already have. Got its first boo-boo. I really try not to knock the bark off all the trees I'm trying to save, because it does kind of wound them. But you can only do so much in a little area like this to work in. It'll be okay. probably enough right there. I'll shove the rest of it down here and make another pile. We walked this yesterday. It was like a heat index of like 106 and flagged it. It took 2 rolls of ribbon. It's a long ways around this place. And through the briars. My God, the briars fast through here. Attachment, but it ain't worth a darn for trying to pick up stuff and rent stuff. So you spend more time taking the bucket on and off than it accomplishes. There we go. Just had to get the angle right. Trying to get a nice little path down through here. Nothing fancy, just I'll come back through here and rake all day. Clean it up better. Just trying to get the bulk of the trees out. See how far I can get. Well, that's the reason I use pink ribbon, is because you can clearly see it through the woods, and it makes finding the trail you flagged a whole lot easier. So there's a few big trees I'm going to try to hook to the left of them right here. Aim back through that way. But it's going pretty good. Trying to forge a path. I'll probably end up going down there and taking that tree down on the left. You know, he's fine if it's not perfectly straight, but for fencing you kind of want it as straight as possible. So not too bad of progress. And like I said, I'm just taking the stuff here and piling it up in the woods every 7,500 feet. There's a lot down there because there's a lot of trees, but down here it's not going to be too bad. In a few years that'll be rotted down, and I mean, everything's so grown up anyways, you really won't notice it. A lot better than trying to, I mean, there's really no place to take it. It would cost a fortune to drag it out, take it to a pile. All right, here I go, keep going. So I've tried to avoid taking down as many big trees as possible. This is not really a big tree, but one of the bigger ones if you got to dig around it. Break it up pretty good to be able to move it out of the way. I consider it a big tree, but it's like dead center of the path, so we'll take it down. As you can tell it is very dry around here. We've had some rain, but not like we should have. Which I don't want to jinx myself, because this right here is kind of a low-lying area, so it would be pretty dang wet if it did rain. Timber! That one kind of looked like it was going off course. That's why I went ahead and shoved it down so quick. It's some dry, sandy material, which is good because it'll be nice. I can break through it and kind of clean up everything. I'm probably just going to break the skid steer over here and just run up and down it. Level it up some for him. If the dozer wasn't on the big clearing job I'm helping a friend with, I probably would have brought it over here. I'll probably get done with this job before I get done there. I think he's got a couple acres left to clear. Lay that down so it's not a totem pole standing up. There we go. I thought about trying to salvage some of this wood, but it's just not going to be enough to be worth my time. By the time I sit here and cut it up and then tote 2 logs out at a time with the skid steer, it's just easier to do that right there and just pile it back up and let it return back to nature. Take down next. Got one tied on that. Either the one to my right or to my left. Nice thing about just piling the stuff up, not worrying about burning it, is you can just kind of rub over it. If I get dirt in with it, it doesn't really matter. I think I'm going to get the tree right here on my right. Property line should be over there. We just tried to stay off the line a little bit. If it stays overgrown like that, it'll kind of deter people from venturing through the woods. Plus it leaves a little bit of a buffer. Buffers are good. Not that he can see those trailers anyways, because there's so many woods on this side, but this tree is going to be a little bit of a challenge to break up, I think. I need to get over a little bit. I need to fall that way more than that way. It was quite this dry out here, though. Kind of surprising. The tree does not want to go down. There we go. Right there. Right where I wanted it to. Maybe I didn't go over the line. I hope not. We're gonna start tugging back this way some. I think we just got turned around in the woods a little bit. Everything got done pretty straightforward. Chainsaw on this one. This cleaned up and we'll keep clearing some more. So I just happened to look down. I think that's an old crosscut saw. I think. I don't know. No, it's not big enough. No, I was wrong. What is that? Something for cutting. Interesting. So that was the property line over there, so I had to go around the other side of that tree. I double ribboned it just so I could find it, but going through the woods it looked like a clearing ribbon, so I kind of aimed towards it and got off a little bit, but not the end of the world. trying to make my way through here now. Well, I made it to the first property corner down the far side I've been working on, and it's getting slow going now. The trees are getting big. I'm starting to break all these trees up because frankly I don't want a chainsaw, so I'm sitting here trying to break up 16 to 18 inch diameter pine trees. Yeah, that's probably only about 12 or 14 there. Trying to figure out if I can change my path a little bit and not have to take so many down. Alright, so I need to, my path is going through here. Good, I can avoid that big one right there. I need to just go ahead and turn and come right straight through here. Alrighty. Then I run into the same problem down here with more big trees. Once I get off this ridge right here, it's not bad. But for the next little ways, it's a lot of freaking trees. I've made it to a good stopping point. I might have made it halfway around this farm. I don't know. Probably not just yet. Oh, these pine trees have whooped my butt. They were big trees and tall. A lot of stuff to get rid of, but never cease to be amazed on the stuff you find out in the woods. This stuff has been here a while. Makes you wonder just how it got back here. We got a boat. And the tag on that said 92. It's been back here. Huh. I guess this was a field back then. Oh, just got a little bit of everything back here. Looks like the kids have taken advantage of knocking all the windows out. Looks like a good place for a rat nest. Alright, I'm going to take the excavator back up there to the front, fill it up with fuel, call it a day.